Let's talk about GameStop.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
I wish we didn't have to.
Yeah, this kind of sucks.
So GameStop is now going to be open on Thanksgiving.
Which, they stopped doing that in 2014.
Yeah, you remember when they had their big, they made a big deal out of it? They were like, we say family first. Do you have that quote there?
We love our employees. They were like, yeah, so we value family. And spend some time with your loved ones this holiday season.
Yeah.
We won't be open.
Yeah.
But look forward to Black Friday and we'll get some sales there. It'll be great. But I do have the quote of what they said about why they are doing it now. And
they're coming back to it?
Yeah. They're like, many of our store associates and guests asked for this.
The store associates did not ask for it.
Listen,
I don't think that's true at all.
I would love to work on Thanksgiving.
I don't think anybody said that.
And it looks like their sales, like it said, according to a report that we saw, that 40 to 45% of their sales are done between October and December.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why they're opening up their doors this year, is because they do such a big chunk of business. It's basically half of their business.
But it almost seems to me like it's a short-term solution, because GameStop's been having financial problems, like with not getting as many sales. People are moving towards digital, and it seems like this is like a temporary solution to that problem. Like, oh well, let's make more money by doing this year, but like in the process, you're pissing off your workers, which will then they take that out on the customer,
And then your customer service goes down, because it's really hard to believe. I'm sure some employees don't mind it. But I guarantee
especially
you,
employees without, like, family.
Right. But I guarantee you the high majority of employees aren't like, listen, I'm going to send a letter to corporate and ask that we're open on Thanksgiving. There's no way.
It's like Jeb Bush, but instead of please clap, please open.
Please open.
No, yeah, I don't really think anybody's doing that.
No, I have a really hard time with that.
I don't believe it. Like, I just don't believe that that's true, that part of that statement. Because, like, I also don't know how you prove that, you know what I mean? Like, are you going to show us, like, the people who requested it? Or, like, no, we're just supposed to take your word for it.
Yeah,
we're just supposed to take your word for it.
Yeah.
That's convenient.
I guess that's my problem with it. I don't know, I think... But the thing is a lot of stores have moved towards this. Like, it's gone from, like, no questions asked, no one's open on Thanksgiving, it starts on Black Friday that morning, to now people are opening their doors at 5 o'clock on Thanksgiving, or open all day on Thanksgiving. So maybe they're just saying that, but like, listen, we need to catch up with the competition. We're going to open our doors. I mean, I think Target's open on Thanksgiving, so is Walmart. So like, a lot of these big corporations are open. So catching up, it makes financial sense, but as far as like what they said earlier, it doesn't add up. If you're like, hey, listen, we want to focus on our employees and make sure that they're, happy and they can spend time with their family. But then you come back a couple of years later and you're like, listen, the employees said they want it open, so we're going to open it. And I guess that's my problem with it, is like, the other big retailers were just like, yeah, let's open our doors on Thanksgiving and see what happens. And they didn't make a statement a couple years before, like, hey, focus on your family. They just did it.
Right.
Where these guys
didn't care.
They didn't care.
They already didn't care.
And so they're like, whatever.
And it's at least honest.
And it's not
like, hey,
hypocritical.
We don't give a fuck if you spend time with your family or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what they're saying.
We want money. We're going to make a ton of money today. Where GameStop was like, hey, listen, focus on this. And then completely went and backtracked. So that's my issue with it, I guess.
Yeah, it's like basically these other businesses were saying like, yeah, we already don't care, but we're not going to say it.
Right.
And GameStop said like, no, we care, but by doing this has audibly said, no, we don't.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they just came out and said, like, no, screw your family.
Yeah, we don't care
Like,
anymore.
they didn't say it, like, word for word, but
Screw your family.
that's just basically implied here.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's very hypocritical, a little ridiculous. They never should have made that statement if they were going to go back on it.
Especially in such a short time, too.
Yeah, 3 years.
No time at all. And they're already opening their doors on Thanksgiving, so...
I just think it's one of those things where it's like, it's very clear what their priorities are,
Money.
And it's not making anybody happy. And like, yeah, they're a business, but like, garnering ill will with your employees, I would say, is never a good idea.
No.
Just because it makes like, it affects the customer experience. It totally does. Like, the GameStops that I go to that are bad, they're bad because they have bad employees.
Well, and that's not going to help. And the problem with that, too, is, like, and we made a video about it before, talking about their numbers and how they're pressed up against a wall. If, like, I walked in there, bought a new game, and didn't buy a pre-owned one, and then didn't get a pro membership, that destroys their numbers very quickly. If that happens 2 or 3 times in a row, they already have to dig themselves out of a rut for the rest of the day. We're like, that's going to make them cranky. So then when another customer says no, they're going to get more, and it just reflects badly on their customer service. And them working on Thanksgiving isn't going to make them any happier. So I don't know. I just think...
No, and as they get disenfranchised, they become dicks.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the employees, not the business.
Right.
So, like, as this continues to happen, their customer experience just gets worse and worse, and, you know... Then people hate shopping there, then they lose more money, then they get crankier because their numbers get worse. It's you know how they have the circle of life?
Yes.
Their program? It's the circle of death of GameStop.
Yes.
So, it's just like they're digging their own grave. Like,
they really
a little
are.
more every day. And I'm
not saying that Thanksgiving is going to, like, being open on Thanksgiving is going to ruin GameStop.
No.
But it's like, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it makes sense, especially with the statement they made. I
just think it's another nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
That's really what I think it is. There's no one mistake. Generally, like, one mistake doesn't sink a business. It's a repetition of mistakes.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And, like, repeating these bad decisions over and over, like, the course of however long, because you're like, well, short term, this will make us a lot more money, and you don't think long term, like, it'll affect customer service, it'll hurt the customer, it'll make them not want to come here because, like, our employees will be dicks, and, like, you are assuming with something like this that all of your employees are perfect, that none of them will respond emotionally, that none of them will care, and that they all put the business of this corporation before their family. And I would argue that none of those assumptions are true. You know, like, I don't know anybody, and I'm being serious, I don't know anybody, I know they exist, but I don't personally know anyone who puts the corporation they work for ahead of what they value, like, as far as their loved ones.
Oh,
I know people do. There are people that do. But I don't know anyone like that, and I think those people are actually kind of rare. So, like, you can't assume that all of your basically minimum wage employees are going to feel that way, where they, like, have some kind of brand loyalty to your business over their family. It's
especially when the system incorporated by that brand is almost designed for them to fail.
Oh, it is designed for them to fail.
So it's like, I don't know, like, I have like we said before, I highly, like, think there's no chance that, listen, the customers wanted it and so did our employees. There's no way that all of your employees, or even anywhere near 30% of your employees, were like, hey, listen,
I don't even think,
love to work.
I don't even think 1 out of 10 of your employees would be stoked for that.
No. And so, I don't know, I'm not for it, I guess.
No, I'm not either. And honestly, like, there's a lot of Thanksgivings where I don't have a lot to do. Same with Christmas, where it's like a couple hours I'm busy and then, like, the rest of the day's whatever, you know? So, like, for me, it's like, I might go walk around somewhere. I don't generally buy things on that day, though. And part of that, it might be, like, hypocritical to go somewhere when we're talking about something like this, but for me, it's like, oh, like, that's something for me to do, but I'm also at the same time not going to buy anything today, because, like, that, I don't like that practice. You know what I mean? Especially from GameStop. Like, I've bought things on Thanksgiving night, but it was somewhere like Target that never made, like, a statement like, we're so great.
Right.
So, I don't know. As time goes on, I spend less and less money at GameStop. I actively go out of my way to not shop there all the time. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. It's interesting, but it's too bad. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.